Hey marketing ninjas, in some previous video tutorials I have gone through this mind map of local SEO and how we are building out our authority, our contextual relevancy with backlinks, and our geographical relevance with our on-page. And our on-page structure looks something like this. We have an area served page, we have our primary cities that we're targeting, and inside each city we have neighborhood pages, and then we have things to do pages. And they're silos, they're a content silo. So inside a city page, we might have a neighborhood page and then links to another one, then another one, then another one, then another one. You can do as many of these as you want. The more the merrier. The more you do, the more contextually relevant you will be. So with that, the next thing you do is things to do. And we don't have to wonder about the things to do because we get them from Google's travel. And we'll look into that here in just a second. But I had a lot of people asking me questions about this. And they said, man, this is going to take forever. And yeah, you're not wrong. Like this part is very time consuming. So I wanted to show you a way that you can speed this up exponentially. There's a couple different ways we can do this. I've got some tools that really help cut down on the amount of research you have to do. But for this video, we're going to do it as if you didn't have any of those tools, and we'll do a separate video on how you can do it. It'll be a shorter video because it speeds the process up a lot. So this is what we're looking at: our city page, our neighborhood pages, and then our things to do pages, and how we're going to build geographic relevancy to our primary city and our business. And so I had done this with some structured pages that I showed you in here, where we've got the content about the city. In this case, I used Nashville, and we had some images, we had some outbound links, all this stuff. Everybody understood how to do this. Everybody had questions on where do we get this. This is the time-consuming part, right? So I wanted to show you the same. This is a things to. I'm sorry. This is a neighborhood. Same process, and then this is a things to do. Same process. Everybody had. This part is the time-consuming part. So how do we speed that up? That's what today's video is about. And so in order to do this, I actually am going to use a Google Sheet. It's very, very basic. I'll show you how I structured this as we go along. I have picked a random city, Jacksonville, Florida. I don't have any clients in Jacksonville, so anybody that we use as an example in this is sheerly coincidental. And what I've done is I dug down into Jacksonville to find a local business, Kevin's Musicians Superstore. This is going to be the one that we're going to rank. It is right here in this map, kind of just to the west side of the city a little bit, right off the waterway. So this will be fun. We're going to do Kevin's Musician Superstore. We're going to try to build geo-relevancy for the immediate area that he is around to be able to build out some local SEO opportunities for him over near him. So I have set up a new site, citypages.ninja. There is quite literally nothing on it. I just installed WordPress as the CMS. And I am going to share with you the way that we're going to do this. So I like having a top level category. And by the way, I added this to the top menu so that you could just see it as an example. I probably wouldn't actually put this in the top level menu. I would put it in like a footer menu or something like that just to make it less prominent on the page. But regardless, here's the structure for it. We're going to name our top one Near Me. Yelp and several others are going to that, where they actually include the words near me in their URL structure. And so I have to believe that that is helpful. It will also help when somebody is searching for like musician shop near me. And then under there, we've got our primary city, which is Jacksonville, Florida. And then we've got a subcategory of that, which is our neighborhoods, and another one, which is our things to do. So our structure looks like this. And so if I were to go to, if you look down at the bottom left-hand of my screen, you'll see that it's domain.ninjas/near-me/Jacksonville, Florida. If I go to the submenu, it adds on the word neighborhoods, and then it adds on things to do. That's the structure that we've got, okay? So here's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be doing some research, and then we're going to be using Article Forge. And in Article Forge, because this is a tutorial done in WordPress, you can go to the WordPress section over here. You click Add WordPress Blog. You literally just enter your URL, your username, and your password, and hit retrieve, and it merges it. Makes it just super, super easy. I've already done that. So for the purpose of this, let's start our research. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to start with neighborhoods. And inside, I've already zoomed out a little bit from Kevin's Superstore. And you can already see words like Paxson, Riverside, Normandy, Hillcrest, Hyde Park, Cedar Hills Estates, Lakeshore, Cedar Hills, Oak Hill. These are all neighborhoods that are around him. They're basically a sublocality of Jacksonville, and those are important. So what I want to do is I want to start taking note of those. And so what I might do is take this, and I'm going to try to make some room so you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to say Paxson, Normandy, Murray Hill, Riverside, Hillcrest, Hyde Park, Lakeshore, Cedar Hills Estates, Cedar Hills, Oak Hill. All right, and then if I zoom in, more will start showing up, right? So you see how there's more and more stuff, coming up here. So Newtown, College Gardens, Allendale, West Jacksonville, Woodstock. So let's start adding some of those, right? So let's break this away. All right, we've got Allendale. We've already got Paxson, Mixontown, College Gardens. You get the point, right? So for the purpose of speed on this video, I'm not going to do every single one of these, but I probably would if this was actually a client, because this saves so much time. So Commonwealth is another one. But you get the point. You can zoom in and out, and more of these sublocalities will start to appear, and we're going to create a list of them, okay? Now, I'm going to do the same thing for things to do, but I'm going to do it by going to google.com/travel/things to do. And I'm going to put in my city, Jacksonville. All right, cool. So because we're on the west side, I'm actually going to zoom in a little bit and try to find things to do near here. So let's say view them all. Perfect. All right, very cool. Okay, so we were over in this area somewhere. So Boone Park is obviously one that we're going to want. Let me get my list back out here. Now I'm going to go to my other tab of things to do. So entity name. Well, this one is Boone Park. This one is Museum of Southern History. I accidentally clicked. This is Stockton Park. A lot of parks down here. Memorial Park. You get the point of what I'm doing here, right? And so we could even go down and add, let's just do it. Let's just go ahead and add okay, very cool. All right, so for the purpose of speed on this video, so that you're not watching me just do manual, I'm going to do 2 of these, and then I'm going to do 2 of these so that you see what I'm doing. And then I will pause the video and come back. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with Jacksonville, and I'm going to go back into Paxson right here. And you see how now we're on Paxson as a sublocality. I'm going to click share and grab this link. Okay. Now over here, Paxson. There's my link. I'm going to zoom out. Normandy was the next one on my list. So I go to Normandy, share. Okay. I would repeat this for all 13 of these, and we would add more neighborhoods. The more the merrier, right? So we would add all these. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do it when I pause the video so you don't have to watch me do it. Same thing here. So let's go over to Boone Park. I would take Boone Park. Sorry, I got several plugins that are in the way. And I would share that. Click copy, short URL right here. So then I would take Museum of Southern History. Takes me straight down to it. Share here. Then I would take Stockton Park. You're getting the point, right? So Stockton Park, share. So I'm going to pause this video and I'm going to do it for all of these, both for the neighborhoods and for the things to do. And then I'll come back and we'll resume the video. Okay, so I finished this up. I actually added a couple of neighborhoods as I was clicking through there, scrolling to try to find these. So I've got all of my neighborhoods. I've got all the short URLs. I've got all the things to do, and I've got all the short URLs. Notice that these were things to do brought to us by the Google travel search. So Google is obviously quite familiar with them. So now let's take a look at what we can do next. We need to add in keywords and sub-keywords because we're going to drop these into Article Forge. And so what I'm going to do is for our keywords, I'm going to say equals concatenate. This isn't really a video about how to do formulas in Google Sheets, but here we go. And that did not work. Oh, because I used G2, not G1. All right. So now all of my neighborhoods say Paxton in Jacksonville, Florida, whatever, neighborhood in Jacksonville, Florida. Okay. My sub keywords, I'm just going to actually use that all the way down, and you'll see what we're doing here in just a second. Same thing to do here. So we're going to call this keywords. We're going to insert a few columns here. All right, so equals concatenate. Perfect. Sub keywords. I'm just going to bring this all the way down. Cool. All right. Now, what we're going to do is I'm going to have this write everything for me about all of these places, okay? And so for this, I'm going to concatenate these two fields because the way that when you bring it into Article Forge, I'm going to say new article, switch to bulk article generator, okay? And you see that it's keyword and then sub-keyword, and every line break is a new line. So this has just basically done it for us. So all I'm going to do is write a quick little formula that says concatenate that and that. It would help if I wrote the formula correctly. There we go. Cool. So now what I can do, drop those in there, right? So now it's neighborhood in Jacksonville, Florida, comma, Jacksonville, Florida. In this case, Jacksonville, Florida is actually a sub-keyword. The reason I do that is because I like to make sure that I include additional clarity, that I'm not looking for Normandy in France or Riverside in Atlanta or Oak Hill in Detroit. It helps give some additional context. That's why I add the cities in here. All right, so very cool. You can select whatever you want. Usually I would do long, but because this is just a demo and because I don't want to use up all of my words that I have, I'm actually going to do medium. Not that it makes a huge difference, but we're going to add titles, add an image, add a video. We are definitely going to replace keywords with links, but we're going to come back to that. Now, here's the kicker. This part is still time consuming, but this is we've already saved ourselves a good bit of time. Replace keywords with links. Yes. You're going to click that. Now, we're doing the neighborhoods first. So I'm going to say, replace the word Paxton with that link. Okay? So in other words, anytime in the Paxton article, when the word Paxton comes up, it will replace it with a link. It'll still say Paxton, but it will replace it with an outbound link going to Paxton. Right? So I leave this off, and I use this as replace only the first instance. But I'm going to do this again with every single line item. Right? So Normandy goes here. And then I grab the link to Normandy. Okay? Then I do this again. I do this for every single one of the neighborhoods. This is the most time-consuming part, and again, there's ways to make this go faster. Another one that I want to make sure that I do is the words Jacksonville. So I have already done in here, I have already grabbed the maps, the share maps for Jacksonville. So I'm going to say add another one, and just for the sake of this will be the last one I do without pausing it. I'm going to say Jacksonville and add that one. Now I'm going to go back and I'm just going to continue adding the rest of my neighborhoods, and then I will come back to this video when that's done. Okay, I have done all of them. It took me just a couple minutes. So Rolling Hills points to Rolling Hills. Lackawanna points to the Google Maps share. So all of these are done, including our secondary sub keyword, which was Jacksonville. All right, we were able to get all of these articles created, and as you see, these are all of our neighborhoods inside of Jacksonville. And in our pages, and here in our post, they automatically got pushed over into our WordPress installation. So for instance, if I were to view this one, you see that it's got the image, it's got everything already done. So this is really, really helpful. You see the next post, last post, these are all linking together. That creates that silo effect, one to the next, one to the next. This is excellent. And it automatically picked up like Riverside. So if I click on that, it would go straight to Riverside. Just a fantastic way to build geo-relevancy. And because I didn't figure you wanted to sit there and watch these get created, or wanted to watch me copy and paste, I've already done it for the things to do. So what I've done is I've just imported all of my load into Article Forge section, which is my primary keyword, comma, secondary keyword. And then, so that is just each of my entities. And then I have done the replace. I've set it up where Boone Park will automatically get redirected. Same way we did it in the other one. It's all said and done. Now, the difference is what I'm going to do is I want these, the only difference that I did here was on these, I want Jacksonville. Instead of outbound linking to the short URL for Jacksonville, I actually want it to point to my internal page. I want that silo linking back to my internal page. So anytime the word Jacksonville shows up in any of these articles, it's going to point back to my internal page about Jacksonville, which in turn has outbound links that Google will recognize to help really create that geo-relevancy. Down here I've said post to your WordPress blog, yes. I've got it set up, post with specific category and tag. So my WordPress category, things to do. And here I'm going to say things to do in Jacksonville. And now I'm going to create new article. We hit submit. And here we go. You see that this is starting, so we can expand this, and you can see that it's already cranking through this. So I'm going to pause this video until we get done, and we'll check it in our WordPress installation and make sure that all of our new things to do articles have been created. All right, I went over and I just refreshed. These articles are still churning out. Looks like they're about halfway done. But I was able to go over here and refresh and look at the posts, and you do see that it is dropping the posts into the things to do with the correct tags. So that's really cool. I went over here and I just looked at the front page where it's just adding them, and so I've got this automatically will point us back to Memorial Park. And so Memorial Park in Jacksonville, good to go. And then down here, this should point us back to our internal page, and it does. So that is fantastic. And if we look over here, our next one is College Gardens in Jacksonville, Florida. Our previous one is not going to let me see it because the loom is in the way. But basically, my point being is that these are all siloed together. Right, so you've got one article going to the next article, going to the next article. They're linked together. It's easy for Google to crawl it when the bot is working through your site, and then it all links back to this page. So we are building tons of geographic relevancy. This is a fantastic way to do it, and we have written exactly 0 content for it. And we've done, you can do 15 of these city pages and then 15 more things to do, just building a ton of geo-relevancy for your site. The paid version, at least at the time of this filming, the paid version has like 250,000 words a month if you use the bulk generator or the API generator. It has unlimited if you do the articles one at a time. The reason that becomes important is because if you're using the bulk, if you're doing the 750 words, which I use for the primary city page, for the neighborhood pages I use 500 words, and for the things to do I like to use 250 words. But if you're using 750 words, that's like 333 articles per month that you can do. So that's just a ton of city pages, city, neighborhood, things to do. Go build your geo-relevancy. Use Article Forge below, the link below, and then follow this, and this is a great way to do it. We're going to show a much easier way, a tool that we've put together that works in conjunction with Article Forge, but this is a manual way that you can do it to go ahead and get started. Thanks, guys.